right. Welcome. How's it going, everybody? Good to see you. Good to see you. Art of the Roll was in here earlier saying, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Derp Nader, what up? Watching Tuesday night main event at the moment. Yes, I was over there too for a little bit because I couldn't help but laugh my ass off. Love those guys. Brahma Bull's here saying, I love bourbon. Yes, sir. I love bourbon too. I need to get some bourbon going again because I don't drink all that much anymore. But I like to drink well when we do. Late in bros. Yes, thank you. I was a little late. I was like a minute late. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm really trying to hold it together tonight. I'm getting to all these live streams this week because I don't want to miss any. I missed a lot the last week and a half. So I want to make sure that I'm available to do this stuff. One of the hard things about creating content online is balancing the schedule of, okay, I love doing this, but also hey, I'm here for you. And you should be here for me because I'm here at these times. So when you lose that schedule, that regularity of your content, I don't want people to ever take it personally. Not that I think they do. I don't think people are waiting for me every day, but there's a part of me that always thinks deliver because you said you would deliver. But it becomes difficult sometimes, you have, life catches up with you. You get a lot going on, but I appreciate you guys coming by. We are live on both. We should be live on both. Let me make sure here. Yes, we are live on both Rumble and we are live on YouTube. So please, if you have not rumbled over on Rumble, make sure you smash the plussy, right? That's what we do over there. If you need a co-pilot since you aren't feeling well, let me know. It's possible. I am going to be as quick and as I can with a lot of this stuff because it's, oh man, the past couple of days have been pretty rough. I went to the doctor today and they said, we're going to watch out for a sinus infection. It sounds like it could be something like that, but since the beginning of something viral or you're in the middle of something viral and it could become an infection if you don't take care of it. So take some antibiotics or not, take some medicine now to loosen up the mucus and get rid of it the best you can. And then, you feel better probably in a couple days. So I got to check back in, but should be good. But yes, if you're here for the very first time, make sure you smash that like button, right? Just give it a little tickle, a little beep. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on a notification for us. We do multiple live streams every week. The midweek hump is tomorrow. We are talking with Carrie Smith. It should be a lot of fun. A lot of great guests coming up this next month into the Christmas season. And then I know we have people ready to go for 2023. So there's a lot of good things going on in this channel. It's really fun. This channel has become a great, hey, let's just talk to people as much as we can. King Deplorables, hey, how's it going? Killbot, how's it going? Great to see everyone. Appreciate it. But yeah, so I've just been doing my very best to kind of hold everything together and get through the news the way I can, and also not overdo it. Yesterday I went to bed right when I was done with the live stream, so that was really good. Green-haired anti-liberal, how you doing? Good to see you. And Derp Nader, how you doing? Smack that like button. You could definitely smack the like button. We like to tickle it. We like to brush it with our, just, we can't be too sus now. But we gotta do it. Gotta do it for Susan, for Mama Susan. Anyways, I hope everyone's doing well. We have a little bit to cover tonight. There was some stuff brought up in the news. Some things that I saw that I really wanted to comment on and make sure I gave my 2 cents on some of the stuff I'm sure you've seen. I'm sure things have been gone over in the past, but the more we go into this, very strange future that I see, the more I think this is real. And I think the more we have people trying to police the language that is being said, people want the White House to look after the language on Twitter, or even just social platforms in general, want government to be watching what's going on and keeping people from saying certain things. It's not good. And we run into situations where social credit scores start to be talked about, and we have to look at other countries who have done this and the sort of things that come of it. Green haired anti-liberal says, good sir, hope you are getting better. A little bit incremental, a little bit. Derpnator says, I can't grow that epic of a beard. I'm not manly enough. Hey man, it doesn't, just because you can't grow this doesn't mean you're not manly. All right. You're good. Don't worry. Quick recap though, before we get into the news, I want to say I've been watching Ancient Apocalypse. Holy shit, y'all. There's nothing better than like that's the kind of stuff I like watching, where we're looking at several different like ancient civilizations from around the world and finding that common thread and pulling it through everything that we know. Right? It's one of those things that, like, that's why I think a space like Twitter is so necessary. Why we can't, and even Graham Hancock in the show says, like, mainstream archaeologists are doing, they're suppressing a lot of what he's saying because they don't want to rewrite history, for either because they're lazy or because it's too much work, whatever it is. But this is why it's so much fun, because you make the connections between different things, and you're like, whoa, like there's this over here, and this, and the guy has done his work, right? I'm sure this TV show is years in the making, and he's visited all these places and has like been able to pick out, and like it's the stars, right? It's the sun, the moon, the sky, the stars in the heavens. We're able to go back in time and see what the sky looked like at certain points in our history. That's insane. It's insane. Like, so if you haven't watched that show or haven't given it any time, like, please, like, you need to watch it. It's so good. Star Sand, how you doing? Great to see you. I'll be living below the streets with Edgar Friendly if it comes to social credit score BS. Yeah. So I'm gonna share this video. The video's older, but he does talk about like his time in China, and but these are again, these firsthand accounts of, hey, I've been in other countries that have this stuff implemented, where if you do a certain thing, like, it's all tied, like between facial recognition and your wallet and your all that stuff. Like, all this stuff is automated, which may seem convenient, but like, it's scary. Like, this is where we're coming to, and we'll get into it a little more. But let's start it up. Like I said, I'm under the weather, so I'm trying to like get through it all. But I appreciate everyone being here tonight. It's really great to see y'all. Love seeing you guys. Feeling a little bit better, Star Sand. Feeling a little better, but still not 100%.
If you go to China, they're piloting it a few years ago in Shenzhen.
He's talking about social credit scores. They've piloted before COVID happened.
So I lived overseas. If you go to Shenzhen, back in 2017, they already had facial recognition cameras there. So if you jaywalked in Shenzhen, they would immediately detect that and send you a notification, and they would deduct money from your what they call WeChat account. They use two main apps, WeChat and Alipay. So you can actually deduct your money directly from your account. This is 4 years ago. So this is not like some sort of conspiracy theory. It's not something that's...
It's the one important thing too you have to remember. Like, so China's been testing this stuff out for at least 5 years. Or has implemented it for 5 years. It's also very true when it comes to like military stuff. Like, drones is a good example of like what it means. Like, Like the military used drones for years, and then they finally released drones into the public. Like you have to understand this technology and stuff is way ahead of where you think it is. Like especially when it comes to like use it, like the consumer. Like once the consumer has it, you better believe that there is way more advanced tech out there other than what you have in your hand. It's great. The drones that are out there right now are awesome. Spend like $4,000 on a state-of-the-art drone. That's nothing compared to what everyone else is using. Remember that. Same thing was going on here. Facial recognition. They see you. They get you jaywalking. Money is deducted out of your account. There's no judge, no jury, nothing. You're guilty, done. Now imagine you're just off slightly and you're walking outside the lane. Oh, doesn't matter. You're outside the window, done. Money, gone. Convenience at what cost? No, thank you. Oh, trust me. I'm not saying that we should. Not at all. We should not sacrifice freedom for security. Mr. Grant Gregory, how you doing? Greetings and salutations to the Shaggy One. Thank you, sir. Good to see you, man. Terminators, I need to do laundry and we'll do tomorrow. See, I like that. I like what you're thinking.
That's going to happen 10 years into the future. This happened pre-corona in China. And so this system in China that exists is extremely advanced. They can detect if it's a man or a woman. They can guess your age. They can detect what kind of car model it is, who the manufacturer is. This is a sort of technology that we see in all these dystopian sort of films and whatever. And people keep putting it off and thinking that this is something that's going to happen later in my kid's lifetime or my grandkids.
And it happens piece by piece. It's piece by piece, man. It's not like all at once. There isn't like, and that's what people don't understand. People are waiting for this one giant moment where a guy who looks like Adolf gets in front of everyone and they're like, no, we can't elect that guy because he's bad. No, this all happens incrementally. And this push to be able to change language and to be able to, what's it called? To censor people that are against like what people deem as like the correct, like right thing. Like this is how it starts. And this is why you don't want to give up freedom. Because remember, the people who are trying to push these policies now, if the tables were turned and it was someone like Trump saying this stuff, they would be brains melting. Right. And I think I said, I don't know if it was yesterday or at some point last week, like Adolf's like his whole thing was made possible before he came into power. Him coming into power, everything was already, the groundwork was laid. He was able to come in and do everything he could legally. Short of exterminating people, but this is a huge thing. And again, but now everything's like, again, it becomes like, well, you just got to sacrifice a little bit of your freedom, just a little bit. So now you feel safe. That's what it's always been under that guise, especially in the recent past. You want to be safe, you want to feel good. Well, we got to have cameras at every intersection. You want to do this? Well, we got to have this here. Oh, you don't want to worry about that? Don't worry. We'll just deduct that right from your account. You don't even have to think about it. Like, you did it wrong. We'll just take that money from you. No, now all these systems are interconnected.
Kids, it's already here. And if this gets implemented anywhere, especially in a Western nation, it's not going away. Israel is already talking about the fourth shot. Then they're going to be going to herpes, and they're going to ask if you're gay. They're going to be asking if you ate 3 pizzas this week because it's unhealthy. If you buy certain books in certain countries, your country doesn't like you, will lose points in the social credit score system. So this is already the reality of the world in certain places, and we need to be aware of that if we don't want that or if we do.
Right. We need to look at the countries that are doing this and say, hey, like, is this what I really want out of my life? Because I think most even normies would be like, no, I'm not cool with that. That doesn't sound like something that I'd be into. And they would be 100% right. You don't want the government involved in your personal business, your finances. And you're seeing this too, like with like cars. Cars now have kill switches in them. So if you're going over a certain speed limit, like, so everything's low jacked, they know where you are, GPS in your car. If you're going over like they know, like all the speed limits are in that GPS system. You're going too fast, they can shut your car off. They can pull it off the side of the road. Done. Like, that should scare the shit out of you. If someone has the ability to do that to your stuff, you're in for a world of hurt. Because there will be people that'll come in and they will abuse that because someone said it was okay to do. You might have a couple of years where things seem safe, but then someone will come along and they will sweep every bit of freedom out from under you, and you're not getting it back. And that's what this guy's saying. You're not getting it back. So you know who I blame for the detail of millions in the Vienna School of Art? They denied him, saying he didn't have the skills. What's up, Imperial? It's good to see you. Just want to drop a like before I start up my stream. Have a good one, bud. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. We could have been hanging Hitler's Van Gogh in galleries rather than detailing the horrors of the Third Reich. I think I know what you're saying, but sorry. My brain's slightly fried. Now let's continue on this.
And to be perfectly honest, anybody who wants his vaccine passport, it's a misnomer. It's total control. Everything you do or don't do will be calculated. So
again, this video is dated, but it's a good thing to look at, because when they were talking about this, when they were talking about having all of your information, your health information tied in like a digital passport, this was like their test. Can we do it right now? And the majority of people were like, mm-mm. I know some places have implemented it, but the West didn't adopt it. I will start saying, I'll write it down. The fuck? Okay, I got it written down. But this was the test, and we passed it for the most part, but there was still a lot of people who were like, yeah, that's what we need. We need to be safe. I need to know if, you need to be able to scan to get into my business. Like, you understand how insane that sounds? You just change it to any other thing. Like, just change it to any other thing, and it's not okay. But we were, to some degree lied to in the degree of which, we were unsafe.
To the point where if they can detect your GPS signal, if you have a phone on you, they can detect who you're hanging out with. Oh, you're hanging out with somebody that said something bad 9 years ago on Weibo, okay, like a Chinese equivalent to Facebook or something like that, right? Oh, you lose 2 points. Oh, you bought Japanese books, you lose 5 points because you don't like Japan. This is what is going to come here because it's already there.
And we're doing that a little bit with contact tracing for COVID, aren't we? So that they can see where you're at and who you're with.
The simple reality is that the technology that CSIS has and all these big tech corporations, they already know where you are. It's just that they don't want to shock.
They've even said, Facebook has come out and said that they can tell like when you're taking a shit, because they track your movements, and they know that like when you're stagnant long enough, they know when that's happening. They make us sound like crazy conspiracy theorists when we try to explain where this path leads us, even with the small things that are just for convenience right now. Yeah, and that's the thing is that, and that's, if you look back from 2020 to 2022 and to today, like, so much of the stuff that people have been talking about came true. We were conspiracy theorists when we talked about this stuff. Now it's all come out as us being right. It's a weird place to be, and it's really like difficult because like the breadcrumbs are there. You just got to follow them long enough, and you'll realize like it's a logical end for most people. And even if it doesn't come to fruition, even if it doesn't come out that like all of these systems that they're lining up don't end in a social credit score, the making is there. There's already been a nation that's done it, multiple. Like, you have to understand that this is a huge method of control. They can see where you are. They know who you're around. People already take the time, like, just go back in your tweets manually and look for the shit that you said in the past. What's stopping from AI doing the same exact thing? Just looking at this, it's an inexhaustible system. A computer doesn't get tired. It just keeps going and going and going and looking up information and seeing who's next to you. Oh, you're hanging out with this guy? Well, this guy doesn't have a good social credit score. You have a pretty good one, but we're going to deduct points because you're hanging out with this guy. Not good. Like, now all these businesses can see, oh, you're a Trump supporter? Oh, well, that doesn't work for us. social credit score, deduction. And businesses could hack into that, or not hack into it, but businesses could use that to determine if they want to do business with you. No. It's not something that you want to be a part of, or you're on the wrong side of history if you're trying to push something like that.
The system too much and admit that they have it. Edward Snowden revealed all this back in 2013. He fled to Hong Kong. They wouldn't keep him there, so now he's in Russia. Yeah. But the NSA has all of your information. They know your Google searches from like February 9th, 2004 in a bunker in Colorado.
Help me, Rhonda.
Right? They have all this information. So, but they don't, like in the US, they have the Fourth Amendment. They're not supposed to track you forever, right? So they pretend they don't have it, but they do.
Of course they have it. And that's the thing. And now it's sort of kind of this guise that like these companies need this information because like all this information is important to us because it helps us create a better online experience for you, because we can give you the products that you want. Like, sure. It's convenient. It really is. But if those things failed tomorrow, we'd all be fine. We'd all still be able to find stuff that we need. Those automated systems, those keeping, if all the data on us burned tomorrow of our online history, no one would be worse off except for these companies. Every single one of us knows where we were at one point in our life and where we are now. But these companies need it in order to push, I hate to say it, a lot of the NWO stuff and the World Economic Forum stuff. It's scary, but it's out there. And that's my black pill for today. Enjoy that. Take it with a tall glass of water if you can. Ooh, excuse me. Oh my gosh. Where is... It reminds me of high school. What, this whole thing? I guess. Like, it's this is something that will... What's up, Brahma? Brahma's over on Rumble saying this is where it's at. 7 people over on Rumble right now watching. How you guys doing? Thank you. If you guys haven't smashed that plussy over on Rumble, make sure you do so, because we love you over there. And of course, subscribe to the channel. We're pushing for 100 if we can and beyond. This is where we've made ourselves a new little home over here, and we love it. But I appreciate you guys watching over there. If you have a second tab open, or if you're just a new person over there, I appreciate you. I'm trying to keep an eye on both chats, but it can be difficult sometimes to do that. Let me move my windows around a little bit so I can see them both. And I apologize for my voice, guys. It's just I'm under the weather. I'm trying to get the shows done, and then also 100, dude, 100K surely. We'll see, man. We'll see. We're trying to get to 1,000 on YouTube so we can get monetized, and then 100K if we can get there one day. But speaking of all and out losers, Disney's new gay teen romance, Strange Worlds, loses $100 million on its latest flop. So I was looking at this, and I almost went to see this movie because, well, my wife was like, "Hey, bring the kids down," and my kids, they don't pay attention to like what's going on in movies, really. Like, my kids like the Turning Red movie. They have no idea it's about a period, girls' periods. But they like it. They think it's cute, big fluffy red thing. Of course, I roll my eyes at it and think like, what the fuck? Anyways, so we almost went and saw this movie, but I was like, I don't really want to see it. It looks stupid. I didn't really care. And I'm glad we didn't, because I'm sick of giving Disney money to put out movies like this that, again, it's to check off boxes for people. Say, hey, like, look at us. Look what we're doing. We're putting all these lovely people in our show. When it's like, just write a good story. That's all we want to see. We want to see good stories. We want to see good movies. We don't need to see diversity at every turn. It's great to have natural diversity. It's in something. But I was looking at, long range box office, the Box Office Pro talked about, they thought, well, this is a great opportunity for Strange Worlds because there's nothing else opening this weekend. Like, there's no direct competition or any other major animation releases like happening. So huge win, right? There shouldn't be any. I'll share this with you guys. Sorry, I am not, and I feel bad. Where are we at? No, don't share this tab. Share this one, and we'll go over to StreamYard because I'm a dummy. Here we go. Lack of direct competition of any major animation release this summer could result in pent-up family demand over the holiday. Unfortunately, that did not come true either. So apparently, it has yet to click long-range modeling with sentiment and interest comparisons leaning closer to Encanto and other low to middling animation performers. Unlike the hits like Ralph Breaks the Internet, Moana, Frozen, et al. Any potential or expected streaming release on Disney Plus during the holiday season could be a factor to watch for as well. But quite honestly, like, it still doesn't seem like it would save it. So here's some predictions for their opening weekend. Strange World, they were guessing around 20 to 30 million, with a total haul of between 68 million and 103 million. Oh, hi, Mo. Hi, sir. Which is still like 20 million under the original budget. It's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad look for this movie. And Disney has been struggling for a minute, and they just came out saying that they had lost hundreds of millions of dollars in the past because of sorry, my cat's being weird. What's going on, Sumo? It's good to see you. Bottom line is that they're struggling big time. They're struggling big time. And with their recent news that they had lost hundreds of millions of dollars in this recent quarter and weren't expecting to turn a profit until 2024. It's not a good look for this company who used to, for me, Disney put out like some of the very classic movies of my childhood. And I see the stuff that's coming out now and I think, like, how have we strayed so far from the path? Like, what is Disney missing? And they're just missing the ability to tell a compelling story without all of the rigmarole in between. Like, we don't need to be preached at. And the best way I can describe it is like being talked at. Like, the people that, you can talk to people and you can try to identify with certain people and have a conversation with them. But what it feels like with a lot of these companies, and especially with Disney, is that you're talked at by them. Sorry, my cat is in here just being just the coolest dude. What's up, bud? What are you doing? His name is Mo. Mosif, if you will. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, where am I? And Bounding into Comics goes on to talk about this a little bit more as well. That's called Love, Sir. He knows you're not feeling well and wants to heal you. I know. Where'd he go? Well, I guess he left. He doesn't love me anymore. Short-lived love. Oh, he's right here. Hey, buddy. What's the matter? Hey, baby. He's kind of a little shit, but I like him. Kitties are good at healing arts, even when they're jerks. He's kind of a jerk sometimes. Not only did the film fail to meet original expectations, but it reportedly has a production budget between 135 million and 80 million. This is from Bounding into Comics. Strange World cost 135 million before P&A. Meanwhile, the $180 million budget Strange World is poised to be another money loser for Disney. That means the film has to make between 335 million and 450 million to break even. This is huge. And you have to wonder, how long can a company continue to take losses like this and still continue making movies the way they do? The only thing I can think of is that you're going to see a lot less Disney film. What? By the way, he just took a shit in the corner of my office. So much for love by the cat. Go, get out of here. Wow, that's awesome. I kid you not. It's right there. His litter box is completely clean. It's a sign of pain and anxiety in a cat. Well, I'll have to figure it out. I don't know what the litter box is completely clean. Anyways, this is fun. Sorry, folks, for that. That's a great. Anyways, I wonder how long that Disney can sustain the losses. I don't necessarily agree that it had a flop written all over it. Again, it comes down to marketing. When they're pushing that this is a LGBTQ inclusive film, it's the first openly gay character, blah 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 blah. When that becomes the central focus of everything, you're sort of losing. What's the story that we're talking about here? What is going on in here? What it used to just be who's the main character, who's the antagonist, and what is going to happen. What is going to be the incident that he has to overcome or she has to overcome. Now it's just identity politics, wall to wall. So does Disney back off of this and start just making generally good films that don't just preach to you all day long? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I would say that they've probably, I'm sure they have a half dozen films coming out next year that have already been completed, and they're going to hope to God they don't bomb in order to make some money back. And I think come 2024, and this is probably where they project they're going to start making money again, is they're going to probably move away from this format once they clear the cache of what they already have done or about to finish, and then start putting out different content. I can't think that they keep pushing like this, because the flops being that bad, that means normies don't like it. If it's not testing well with the general audience, that means it's not the extreme critics. It means it's not the whatever they want to slander us as. That's a huge thing. It's a really huge thing. So my mind just shut down. Boop. That's how I feel. So I'm still baffled that there's a thing right here. Starset, I probably will talk to you at some point about it. That is unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. Anyways, welcome in. If you guys have just arrived, we're just going over some of the news. About to hit our next little topic here. So I was going to talk about this yesterday, and I put it off because I don't know. I didn't really want to, but, and I don't know. It's something I do want to talk about because I think it's, and there's a possibility that we got to be careful about, I got to be careful about what I say because I'm not coming off as I know 100% about everything regarding this stuff. And when it comes to Maricopa County, as you watch the stuff that was happening in that area with the midterm elections, you have to think like, oh, like what's been going on where a whole state like Florida can get their results in, and we're struggling to get stuff together with Maricopa and a lot of the problems that they were having with their machines. Greenhead Anti-Labor says, sorry, I got to head out early morning tomorrow. Have a great night. Get better soon. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming by. It's very nice of you. So we'll check out this tweet from Benny Johnson. He tweeted this out earlier today with a little video. We'll take a quick watch. It was about 2 minutes long. Hopefully there's nothing that will get us shut down. Okay. So again, so what's important about this, and I would hope that YouTube is smart enough to realize like it's time to ask the questions. Like it's okay to ask questions. I am simply wondering what this person is trying to say. I think it's valuable in the grand scheme of things. Hopefully Mama Susan won't get mad, but you never know. I know we won't have any problem on the Rumble side, but over here with YouTube, you never can be too sure. So let's take a look.
Supervisor, I typically don't speak at these. I represent folks. I have an organization called Frontline America, and I also represent a media outlet, Real America's Voice News. We were denied entry along with my colleague, Jordan Conradson, to the election office, and I figured this was an appropriate time to redress my grievance.
Denied entry to a public election office. That seems strange, right? I mean, again, not saying anything, but I do think that's weird when like media companies, reporters are barred from entering a public election.
I spend most of my time on the southern border exposing the invasion that's going on down there, especially here in Arizona and what's coming into our country. The biggest concern I have is if this election is certified, the only parties that will benefit from this are the cartels. They've taken over Mexico, and sadly, they've taken over many politicians in America. What we saw on election day was outrageous, and to say that it was anything but that is either you think we're stupid or you're just that arrogant. What we've seen from you in the election office and your response, very simple questions needed to be asked. 2020 was a disaster.
And again, so he's saying he's going to say that the previous one was a disaster. I'm just going to skip ahead so he doesn't actually say that. But like these are legitimate questions to be asked on any election. It doesn't matter if Republicans or Democrats are being affected by the results, like any sort of like weird foul play. And I thought the same thing. So when I woke up that day and I saw that there was like voting machines down, I'm like, why? Like, you got to think like, isn't it convenient that on election day that machines are down? Like most places, like when you're, and I talked about this on Comics Division stream that night. Like when you have like a new restaurant that you're opening and like computer systems are being rolled out, like you go through like soft rollouts. Like first you set up the computer systems and then you test them to make sure they work. And then you go through a soft rollout where people, you're basically giving away food or whatever, and people are paying for some stuff, but they're being used how they would normally be used. But it doesn't seem to be the case with these particular machines, which are conveniently run by like a singular company. So it's okay to ask the question, what's going on here? Why it's so convenient that everything's just not working when it should be working. And it's Well, I'll let him say it.
Worse. You cannot say that you can certify an election when half of the voting machines were down.
Half of the voting machines were down in this county? Half? Half. So how many people are unable to vote?
Was it 1,000 people that were disenfranchised? Was it 10,000 of the people that were there in line, or the people that didn't show up because they saw on the news the election machines didn't work?
Now that's a reach, but still, to his point, like, this stuff travels. So then someone's reporting on it. They say, oh, machines are down. How many people were affected by that news that, this county, the voting machines are down. This area can't vote because of voting machines not working. Like, that's an important question that needs to be answered. Like, how do you say, okay, this is on the up and up, when a large percentage of a particular district is unable to do the thing that you need to do on that one day, right? I don't know. Hopefully I'm being fair enough in my interpretation of this that, we don't get struck down, but like, this is a very important thing that people need to start thinking about. It's not necessarily about widespread systemic problems, but like in these areas that are a big deal, like almost every election, there's something going wrong. There's something amiss. And even in other areas.
The fact that you've already made up your minds, you've already made the decision. This is all semantics. All of us coming up here and speaking is semantics. You've already made your vote. You've already made this decision. You said the world is watching, and you're right. They're watching, and they're watching this disaster play out in front of them.
I don't know how true that is necessarily, but I mean, he could just be saying like, you guys aren't going to do anything. Like, even though we're coming up here and speaking our minds and thinking like, this is an issue. We don't believe this, and you're just going to certify it anyway. Like, this is a dog and pony show. Like, you're just allowing us to do this for hee-haws, but you've already, so I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know the result of this, but he still makes a good point. Like, that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. It felt like 2 years ago. It's what it feels like now.
You responded to the AG with the most pathetic, inept response I've ever seen. You have not redressed the grievances of these people. That is the question. And the answer that I hear from everyone across this room is, you cannot certify. So the question is, what is the remedy? The fact that you were on a PAC that was going against Kari Lake, as well as Richer, going against Kari Lake, how can you say that there's no conflict of interest? You have a...
And that's another good point. Like, you guys are all against the candidate who is like neck and neck with the supposed winner. And we're all saying like, hello, like, you can't do this. Like, a lot of us are disenfranchised here. Like, there needs to be, a runoff or something. Like, it's an important point he's making. And the issue is that all these people in this room are made to feel small, crazy, conspiracy theorists, alt-right, whatever term you want to throw on it. That's how every single person is made to look. Like, we see 10 people sitting there, and they might not all be for whoever, but like, a lot of those people, especially these couple right here who are all like, yay, pro Kari Lake, and they're cheering this guy on. Like they believe like something's amiss, and they are allowed to think that. They don't need to be, oh, you're whatever, you're Trump or this, you're this, that, and the third. Like, no. Especially if the public has lost faith in the system, this is a huge problem. This is how you're supposed to elect officials, and people are losing faith in that. Every election.
Secretary of State running against a gubernatorial candidate. How can you say there's no conflict of interest? And then your machines go down on election day. It is absolutely outrageous. If you certify today, the only thing you'll be certifying is your corruption.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, like, it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right to do that. And I'm not going to say, the only thing I'm going to say is that they are allowed to speak up on this. They should be allowed to speak up on this and not feel like crazy people. I'm sure a lot of them do to some extent. And again, I don't know how widespread this stuff is, but I know there's irregularities constantly, and they should be looked at. We know there's been irregularities over the past couple of years. Dems are so desperate that they don't care if it's 4K because they have the sheep in the media. Yeah, it certainly feels like that, man. It's really depressing to watch. It's really depressing to watch it all happen because, and that's what most people are like. When people like myself or others in this sphere question something that's going on, and you're labeled a certain way, or even when I first started speaking up on this stuff more and like challenging people on like Facebook, like you're and what happens is it's not even necessarily like a good argument brought against you. It's like ad hominem attacks. And even if there is some data brought in there, it's all diluted by their need to insult you. Right? Like, so that's not going to be my go-to with stuff. I might say, hey, like, this is, I think you're wrong because of X, Y, Z. Like, is that really the thing? Like, or, my thing was always, tell me a policy that Trump did that's bad. Can you explain to me like that he said that Nazis were good people? Like, and they can't. What they do is they start off by insulting you, and then they quote a clipped quote, and that happens everywhere. It's like, and it's the thing, like for myself, like I'm not even a Trump supporter. I agreed with some of his policies, but like as a politician, I could care less for him. I think he was a bad politician. I think he did what he did, and he was successful in many ways, but I don't think he was a good politician. Now, I think he would even admit that, but I don't, but that's, again, it's just me, but I'll call out like, hey, there's some good policies here. There's some really good policies here. And I'm certainly not going to look down on someone because, oh, you're a Biden supporter? Well, fuck you. No, whatever. I have really good friends who are hardcore Biden supporters, but they're good people, and they're not very vocal on social media. Some of them were, but even still, I know them personally. I know they're good people. I think if they were aware of a lot of the stuff that's going on, they probably wouldn't be as quick to defend him. So I haven't watched this yet, but a new trailer for Super Mario Brothers has been released. Let's take a look at it real quick, because I am interested in seeing it. I've been hearing a few things about it, so I wanted to make sure we touched on it tonight because it just popped up in my feed like an hour ago. By the way, I love the music of this. It's really, really good. Is this like Smash Brothers? No, oh, that's awesome.
Okay. Not sure if you know who I am, but I'm about to rule the world.
I do like that Jack Black is Bowser. That's really cool. I do really like that. And I think Charlie Day is Luigi. Is that right?
Wow, yay.
Yep.
But there's one problem. There's a human, has a mustache, just like you. Do you think I know every human being with a mustache?
Yeah.
Wearing an identical outfit with a hat with the letter of his first name on it? Because I don't.
It looks so good too. This animation looks so good. What's up, Kenzo? Good to see you, man.
Sir is coming. Together, we are going.
I think this is an interesting change, though. I did see this image. I don't remember Peach ever being like a warrior. I don't know. Like, I mean, this is a brand new movie. It could be that this is a like prequel to everything. They did put a lot of work into this. This looks cool. The animation looks dope. This is not going to go well for people People are not going to be happy about this. I can tell you that right now.
Going to stop that monster.
How? Look at us. We're adorable.
Oh, I got this. No problem. Yes! Come on, Mario! Our big adventure begins!
And like, to me, Mario's always been sort of like a bumbling, like comic relief. So that I don't have a problem with that. I think that's cool. Toad looks awesome. I do like how they bring in elements of the games, which is really sweet. Princess isn't a warrior, and they definitely did not use halberds in the Mushroom Kingdom. Right, I know. That's the other thing. It's like, okay. Well, again, I can suspend reality, or I can suspend belief enough, as I go through and read Lord of the Rings again, I think like, oh, well, there's a lot they changed here. Even though the spirit of the whole thing is within the movies, like I'm okay with creative liberties as long as, it's not too far off the mark.
It's now! Ah, get it off, get it off, get it off!
April. Nice.
There's a huge universe out there.
Whoa.
With a lot of galaxies.
Ooh, galaxies.
They're all counting on us.
See, oh shit, what the hell did I do? What the fuck? I did this yesterday too.
With a lot of galaxies. They're all counting on us. No pressure.
Yo, the Mario Kart nod here. Rainbow Road. Dude, that's so cool. It looks good, man. That looks good. No, I think it's the girl from Queen's Gambit. I think it looks fine. I think this is what you can expect from this movie. This is a prequel setting up multiple movies. And I think it's gonna be sort of a coming of, and if I were a betting man, I would say that like Peach either gets like captured at the end, or it's Mario's story of becoming like a hero, like really like stepping into the role of, hey, I have to go save the princess now. Like he'll save the princess in the last like half an hour of the movie, like that. Like it'll probably be some, and I do feel that it'll be her teaching him how to be that person. But I think this is going to be, I mean, you're talking multiple movies here. Wait a minute. Did I lose? Am I still here? I think I'm still here. Wow, tonight is definitely a weird night, let me tell you. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know that, like, Mario is fine. You could keep this story generic and it will be totally good. It'll be totally good. I think this movie, unlike a lot of movies that are coming out, looks like it will be fun. Oh, Stars, I have a good night. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just my brain's not working all the way. It looks fun. The animation looks great. I don't think people will be happy with Peach and how she's represented here. I think it's going to be, oh God, girl boss, like what the fuck? And, I think to some extent they might have an argument, but, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I think the good news is it could be something that you could turn your brain off to a little bit and just love. And I think there'll be lots of nostalgia here that people can enjoy. The Super Mario Brothers movie. Yeah, it's pretty dope. Pretty dope. Oh, I didn't see Wario. Oh, in post credit, yeah, I could see Wario being post credit for sure. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be something. I don't remember the last time I left the theater and said, "Wow." Yeah, it's certainly been a minute for me. It's definitely been a minute for me. But no, the trailer looks good. You got to hope that these companies look at what else is going on and they're like, okay, even if this is contained in the movie, we can't centralize it. We can't talk about how, we can't have clips of Peach, shitting all over Mario because he's a pussy or something like that. Like, that's not going to go over well with people. Mario's the hero. Mario is a hero. He saves Peach every single time. There's dozens of games where Mario saves Peach. It's not the other way around. So, you got to make that story. Like, sorry, you could certainly make a story about a princess saving the man, but that's not what the Super Mario Brothers story is. But she is the rule. So I did see that Lofty commented on this, and he did point out, like, she is the ruler of the Mushroom Kingdom. So in that way, if she's going to stand up against an adversary that's coming to, perhaps, get in their way, well, then she's doing what she's doing. She's going out there and doing what she can to stand up against an adversary. So that makes sense. There's lots of characters they can use going forward, for sure. Part of my cynicism, but I don't trust modern movies. No, it's fine. Some people have been betrayed too much, and that's the thing is, to some extent, like, Hollywood's done this to themselves, and like, it's hard to come back from. The only way you come back from it is by making quality movies. I talked about it yesterday. The world could use a new Tarantino movie. He's talked about a series, a TV show that he's doing. I said wow a bunch, but for the wrong reasons. Yeah. There are good movies out there, guys. Like, there's probably more good TV shows than there are movies. But like with like Netflix, I mean, there's I don't remember my login right now. Well, like Netflix, you have stuff like Love, Death, and Robots. There's, I heard that 1899 ended up being a dud. There's actually a good show on Showtime called Yellow Jackets. That's a really good one. I've watched a couple episodes I've watched one episode. No, two episodes of The White Lotus on HBO. It was season 2, but it was still good. Owen Wilson, wow, intensifies. Ironic how The Last Jedi is what caused the cynicism. Yeah, it sucks, dude. It really does suck. Where am I? Here we go. I don't know. You got to keep looking at the stuff that might interest you, things that may have interested you in the past. I think that's the case for every streaming platform, Tim. Every streaming platform is struggling right now to find good stuff or to make good stuff. There is a few things on each one that's pretty good, but that's about it. But it's pretty good in relation to the stuff around it, right? So there's nothing that's like great, that holds up to some of the old school stuff, but it's still there. There's a lot of stinkers. Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. I think to some extent, like the world needed this sort of lull in entertainment, because like at some point you got to hit bottom. There's these cycles of entertainment that go, they go really high and then they come back low. But people will start realizing what they're missing out of their stories, and they'll have to course correct, or all of these platforms are going to take a huge dive, man. They're going to take a huge dive. But even watching Inside Job Part 2 on Netflix. Inside Job Part 2? Wasn't Inside Job wasn't that with what was it, Clive Owen? Where he robs the bank and then escapes. Isn't that right? Who was in that? It wasn't Denzel, was it? Was that Denzel Washington? Yeah, it's all low, man. It is what it is. God, I still can't believe the cat did that. I came in here and was like, hey, how's it going? That's going to do it for this week, right? For tonight. Guys, tomorrow night is the midweek hump, 9 p.m. Mountain Time. We start. Carrie Smith is going to be our guest tomorrow. She was supposed to be last week, but she had to cancel. She's back this week. We have many more great guests in the month of December. There's also some great stuff we're lining up for 2023. Please don't miss it. I have a new office in the works over here. This whole background is going to change eventually, hopefully before Christmas, but we'll see. Time is really ticking down. I did not watch Wednesday. No, I will not. I have no desire to watch that show. It doesn't interest me. I don't really care about Wednesday. It's just not made for me. Like, seriously. But tomorrow, like I said, Carrie Smith will be live on Odyssey, Rumble, and on YouTube as usual. We'll do our normal, like probably hour and 15. We'll do some memes, and then we'll switch over to just Odyssey, Rumble for some more open discussion and less censored talking. Those are going to eventually become members only content that people can watch after the fact. It'll be free for live. And then if you want to check out that stuff afterwards, it will be content that you can access by throwing us a tip on Locals. That being said, make sure you check me out on Locals. If you're over on Rumble right now, you can actually hit the join on Locals and join the team over there. We're putting a little bit more effort into Rumble, both gaming and the commentary space, because it's important to engage in alt platforms that aren't just, these big companies that can just shut you up whenever they don't like what you're saying. Odyssey as well. Odyssey, all these links are right down below, guys, in the description. Please make sure you check them out and support where you can. It's all free to just support normally. If you want to do paid stuff, that stuff is there, and there are options for you right now. It's usually just out of the goodness of your heart. The paid tiers will start to become more important in the future as we start growing more and more. But I'll tell you that your time that you spend here is extremely valuable to me. It pushes us through algorithms where we can. Every like that you guys do, every plussy that you hit is amazing. It helps me grow. So please continue doing that. If you feel like throwing us a tip, if you feel like throwing us a membership, that it helps. It's not necessary, but it helps as well. Again, thank you guys for your time tonight. Thank you, mods who may have been in chat tonight. Thank you, all of chat. You guys are great. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for the midweek hump with Carrie Smith. Until then, we'll see you guys next time. Toodles.
I like to put stuff online.